watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it if you can. Again, we've been seeing some great engagement recently, so please comment down below as well. Let us know what you think about predictions, previews, our reviews of the game, and so on. And for those of you listening on Spotify, Apple, or any other podcasting platform, please follow and give us a 5-star review. It really helps us with the algorithms and getting us in front of more listeners. But anyway, let's move on to Arsenal. I'm sure there will be more Man United, I guess, rumours to talk about next season next week, once these ones are all wrapped up. So let's talk about Arsenal then. It pains me to have to say this again, but we're still looking at Mikel Merino. That hasn't died yet. And Real Sociedad have had somewhat of a boon in the fact that Zubimendi told Liverpool to jog it on. So they might be a bit more desperate to sell Mikel Merino now and get a bit of money. So who knows? Yeah, who really bloody knows at this point? But it's looking like we are serious about Mikel Merino, which is shocking. So yeah, overall, I'm not very happy about that. I think I said it again, last week. I'm not going to keep on banging on that one, but yeah, just doesn't make sense. I would like to see some other names in this rumoured ins list, but it's still him, Double M. Rumoured outs, Nketiah, it looks like the deal to Marseille has probably broken down at this point now. Probably over our unwillingness to kind of bend on the fee, which was exactly what I was hoping would not happen. But it now looks like he might be a target for Bournemouth, who have just obviously lost old Dom Solanke to Tottenham for a tidy fee. So we know they've got money, which is good. Hopefully we can try and rinse them for Nketiah and get, 30, 35 million, whatever we're asking for him out of them. And let's be honest, for them, there's not all that much on the market right now, unless they really want to look outside the Premier League, which would be interesting to do, but they don't have very long now to try and secure somebody. So it kind of makes sense for them to go after somebody like Nketiah. But again, I don't think they're going to have. I think they're going to have a few problems with the fee that we're asking for. So we'll see if Nketiah ends up still being an Arsenal player by the end of this transfer window. And then we've also got the last rumour is really Ramsdale going to Southampton, which I actually quite like. I quite like that as an overall move. I think that could be a good one for him. I think that's a good one for Southampton as well. They get a really good goalkeeper in him. And yeah, overall, I think that could be the right move. It'd be interesting to know what the fee might be and what that would look like. I'm imagining we're going to get ripped because I don't think Southampton have a whole lot of money, even if they are coming up into the Premier League. And from some of the fees that were being quoted earlier this transfer window for Ramsdale, I'm not optimistic about us getting any kind of crazy fee for him. I think it will still be in the single-figure millions or maybe just double figures, but I don't think it's going to be anything too wild. So yeah, overall, I don't even really want to talk about these, especially the Mikel Merino one. I don't want to talk about that one. I just want Nketiah to get out, and I want, if Ramsdale can finally just leave, I think it would be the best for both of us. So I wish I had more exciting things to talk about or more shocking things to talk about, but that's all I've got. And what's your take on the Arsenal rumoured ins and rumoured outs?
I think the Merino one is what you talked about just at the beginning. We were joking about. I think Sociedad are not sanctioning the move while the Zubimendi stuff was going on in the background, because I think that came a bit out of left field, and they weren't expecting that to happen as well. So I think they're okay to sell Merino to you, and I think you guys have pretty much agreed most things in terms of the deal, but they obviously had to slow things down while they were begging Zubimendi to stay. And now that's been successful, and Liverpool have gone running with the tail between their legs, I think they'll probably allow this deal to go through. So timing-wise, it's a bit annoying because he's not going to be in for your first game, I think. But
let's be honest, I don't think he was going to play anyway. So
no, I know, but
just in my mind, he wouldn't play anyway either. But
yeah, but it's less about playing. It's more about every fan wants their team to get all the players in before the start of the season, so they can train together, so that they can start to understand how the team plays, etc. So I agree. I don't think Merino would have started, but you want to have your players in as early as possible and before the Premier League season. But when you have this window that drags on through the start of the season, I think most teams are not going to have that luxury, right? I think
Yeah,
you have to be really proactive to get deals sorted in time. Otherwise, I think most teams will get kind of some of their business done within the first 2 weeks of the season when the transfer window closes. But I would just be like you said. I'm a bit worried you're just not linked to too many other strikers and stuff like that. And there are strikers out there on the market. Osimhen's still out there. The young lad that was going from Atleti to Chelsea, Omarodion or whatever his name is, he's still knocking about. There's a few strikers still knocking about. I know you went big for Sesko in the early part of the window. I think we did too, and we both flopped because he stayed at Leipzig. But there's strikers out there. If you were serious about getting a new striker, you'd think you'd see some links out there, but I haven't really seen anything. So
yeah,
if I was an Arsenal fan, I think that would be the big worry because Calafiori was like a nice to have. I think your defense
yeah,
was good enough to win last season, but it's kind of like the Thanos situation. You've got all the Infinity Stones, but the midfield and the strike up front was the area where I think was going to make that little bit of difference. And if you get
yeah,
Merino, I know you're not big on him, but he's decent cover in midfield, and I think he'll be able to do a job. But then, not too many links. I know there was the Sane link last week that we talked about, but that was very soft.
yeah,
No other real links to any wide forwards or strikers, and I think you probably should be if you're going to get anyone. But with Osman still knocking about, who knows, man? Napoli might get desperate in the back end of the window and do
mm.
you a deal. And I'll tell you what, if you get Osman, that would be class. So
Yeah,
so let's see. On the outs though, the Nketiah one, it just feels a bit greedy, man. And I'm gonna say that without saying United are the same because we've been doing the same with McTominay, where teams are offering 5 million short of the valuation. And it's still been a fair amount, I think. And I think our valuations are probably slightly over the top. And I think that's what happened with Marseille's bid. I think it was fair, and you probably should have just taken it. But now they've moved on to Elia Wahi from Lens, and they've bought him. So that's completely dead in the water now. So the only good news is you've got a few teams in the Prem that still need a striker, and Bournemouth are obviously one, and they could probably do the deal. But I still think it relies on you guys dropping your asking price a bit because I don't think they're going to pay £30 million. I think they will pay
yeah,
20 to 25 million, and I think that's fair. And I would do that deal with some sort of sell on, and just get him out the door and get the cash in. But I'm not a football finance guy, so it's a lot more complicated than that, I'm sure. But I'll just get him out of here. No disrespect to him or anything, but I'll just do the deal. I just feel like it's dragging on.
yeah,
And with Ramsdale, I feel like it's a good deal for him. I don't think it will be a sell though. I think you'll probably end up loaning him. But I think it would be a good move for him and not the worst move for you because if you loan him, if he plays a full season and does really well, you'll probably sell him to Southampton the next season for a good sum and get most of your money back, or someone else and get most of your money back. So all of these deals make sense. They're just not sexy deals, you know what I mean? They're kind of ones where people watching the pod might just skim over this bit.
Well, the Ramsdale one, especially like if he does well at Southampton. Let's be honest, Southampton are going to get goals pumped past them. Like even if they end up staying up, they're letting in a lot of goals. Right? It doesn't matter how good their goalkeeper is. And a good example is like Fotheringham last season, pretty decent goalkeeper. I think if he's playing for a mid-table team, he would be considered to be a decent goalkeeper. And he got absolutely slapped over and over and over again. And no one talks about him. He's not getting bought by anyone. No one cares about him.
He went to West
probably do a
Ham.
job. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he went to West
To,
Ham on a free transfer. Yeah, West Ham.
to replace what? Areola?
No, he's the backup to Areola. I think Fabianski's
Oh,
contract's
okay.
gone down, and he's gone in as the backup to
But
Areola.
that's my point, is right. Like he could, I think he quality wise could probably be a mid-table first team, like first choice
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
he could. Yeah,
And my issue is with Ramsdale, he's going to go to Southampton and get just goals straight past him over and over again, likely. And then as a result, his stock is going to be really low, and everyone's going to say, why do I want that guy? He's just letting bloody 45 goals in 10 games or whatever else it might be. So, I'm a little bit worried about that, and I think that there should be some sort of like obligation to buy at the end of it or something like that. Because
you might do that deal.
You're gonna test the goods, but you might ruin the goods at the same time. You know what I mean? So you've got to put something down. You got to give us a deposit for this for the car that you're renting, mate.
You know what it's going to be though. It is going to be that, but it's going to be with a stipulation like if Southampton stay up, which they won't.
Yes, which they clearly won't. Which is rubbish. What's the point of doing that?
But they won't do that deal, right? Because he'll probably be on big wages for them. It'll be a big fee, and if they go down, he'll probably want to leave anyway. So there's reasons why they'll probably put those stipulations in. But I hear you. It's not a good look to get absolutely packed out, even if you play well. Because let's be honest, when you signed Ramsdale, he was coming off 2 seasons with clubs where they got relegated or were absolutely shy.
We might be in his third.
So,
if he imagine if he comes back into the Arsenal team, now everyone's going to say he's been relegated 3 times. The banter never ends, man. Mikel Arteta's doing the pickpocket things, and now he's doing this. Like, mate, not everything's a joke. Be serious sometimes, man. No. Oh god! But anyway, those are the rumors for this month, this week's episode. Hopefully next week we'll have something better to talk about, and hopefully I won't have to say that Mikel Merino is confirmed coming to Arsenal. But who knows? Let's get mate, because he reminds me of Mikel Arteta when he was playing for Arsenal. I don't need this geezer. I need someone better than him. Get rid of him. Get him and his hairy arms out of it. I don't need this. But anyway, let's get on to the